Good evening, everyone. I'm Robert Maya, General Director of the Santa Fe Opera, and it's such an honor to be here. Duke, thank you so much for having us back. The Santa Fe Opera has presented here as part of the Works in Process series a number of times, but I venture to say tonight is particularly historic. I will introduce our panelists in just a moment, but I just want to say a quick word that when we programmed Lili Elbe more than 2 years ago, I think none of us could have predicted the current political climate, and it is more important than ever for us to be presenting this story, and it is also a piece that is set to the most glorious music ever written, and I'm just so honored that we're able to share a little bit of it with you this evening. So we're going to be joined by our illustrious composer, Tobias, our incredible librettist, Aryeh Stollman, and we will be moderated this evening by Melanie Bacaling, who's the assistant director on the piece. Unfortunately, our director, Jim Robinson, for various reasons, could not be here this evening. He had every intention to be with us, but we're so thrilled that Melanie, who is assistant directing on this wonderful production, will be with us. And we're also joined by the incredible performers who will be singing for us in Santa Fe next summer. Lucia Lucas, who will be performing in a moment. Lucia is also the dramaturg on this piece, and I understand that she will also be joining the panel at one point. Also, Sylvia will be performing with us, and Craig Ketter will be on the piano. So without further ado, please join me in a warm welcome for our panelists. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Robert. It's a pleasure to be here. Good evening, everyone. We are so grateful you could join us as we introduce you to Lili Elbe. Before we dive into the discussion of the work and its process, we will begin with a musical excerpt. So I will hand it over to Aryeh to give us a little introduction of this piece.
Thank you all for coming. Lili Elbe is an opera in 2 acts based on the life of Lili Elbe, one of the first persons to undergo gender affirmation surgery in the late 1920s. Lili, before transition, was known as the acclaimed Danish landscape painter Einar Wegener, and was happily married to Gerda Wegener, herself an important artist, considered the Danish pioneer of Art Deco and a very sought-after portraitist. The opera is also a love story about Lili and Gerda. Our first excerpt will be in the Wegener apartment in Copenhagen. In this excerpt, Gerda is on one side of the stage working on her painting of their friend, the actress Anna Larsen, who has not arrived for her sitting. Lili is on the other side of the stage painting a still life. Gerda and Lili somewhat playfully argue about the differences between painting real people versus inanimate landscapes.
I need makes lilies, makes living things.
Well, Tobias, what beautiful music, huh? Can we start off with talking about the origins of this opera? What was the genesis of creating it?
This opera really started in 2018 when I was planning to write an opera on the 50th anniversary of Stonewall for 2019, with very little time to do it. And I got in touch with Lucia, who flew in from Germany, where she lives, and auditioned. And when I heard her, I was also at the time artistic director of the Tulsa Opera. And so I was casting for Don Giovanni. And when I heard her sing, I asked her if she wanted to play Don Giovanni. And she did. And we did do Don Giovanni in the following season. And Lucia was the first trans woman ever to perform that role or any role on the American operatic stage that I know of. I during this time, I lost interest in the Stonewall project and started to think about Lili Elbe, who I had done some research on after seeing the film The Danish Girl from 2015, which is based on the life of Lili Elbe, and looked into her memoir and found that this subject would be very, very operatic, and something that I wanted to do for many reasons. So I asked Lucia if she would like to be Lili Elbe, and she said, without pausing, yes, of course, that's my story. So that was the genesis of it, and it premiered in just 2 years ago. Right now in Switzerland, in St. Gallen, and with Lucia in the starring role, and with Sylvia as Gerda, and since then, Robert, as he told you, is bringing it to Santa Fe, which we're very, very excited about.
I'm incredibly excited about it personally. I'm curious, Aryeh, was the plan that you would write the libretto when the idea for the opera came up, or how did that come to be?
Well, I had already written one libretto with Tobias on Awakenings, and so it seemed natural that we would write this one. And I met Lucia, and we became fast friends, and she was my dramaturg, our dramaturg, and I learned a lot from her, and that's how it just came to be that way. Yeah.
A brilliant trio of collaborators. In talking about more of the origin of the libretto and the story, in the first scene prior to the scene that we just witnessed, Lili and Gerda are witnessing the Orpheus and Eurydice play. They're watching their friend Anna play in that, and then the Orpheus and Eurydice story becomes sort of a parallel to the Lili and Gerda story. Can you talk a little bit more about the inspiration for that and its theme throughout the opera?
Well, Orpheus was the son of a muse and a god, and it depends on which myth you read. And he had the magic power of music. He had the most powerful musical ability of his time, and he was able to sway the gods, people, even rivers, and move stones with his music. And when his wife died, he went to Eurydice, he went into the underworld to bring her back. And because of his singing, the gods allowed him to bring her back. And as they were, but there was one condition, there's always a condition, not to look back until they're in life. And on the way up, he looked back. So he lost her again. But Lili Elbe, in her goals, she never looked back. She went forward and forward and forward until she became what she wanted to be. So that's sort of the background of Orpheus that goes throughout the opera.
Yeah, and later we'll talk a little bit more about how that plays into the production design as well. I think this is a great excerpt now to talk about excerpt number 2 that we have. Aryeh, if you would like to set that up.
So let me see, I have that right. The next scene is Gerda has her exhibit, and a few days later, her portrait exhibition, and this mysterious and elegant woman appears in the crowd, and the woman is Lili. The next morning in their bedroom, Gerda awakens Lili and tells her, "You pulled it off last night, a delightful game." And this is what we'll hear next.
Only that
pressed a violet every word. I stopped to fill my life with love and gave my life to you. Where's I know now that Lily's here? She has no future, only a past. Where will he go? Where will I go? No matter where I go, I will love you just the same. Oh, Gerda, you know I'll always love you.
Welcome to visit us from time to time, but I know you are still my husband. Perhaps Lily will make me more famous than you when we leave this place. All my reviews are terrible.
Danish critics are fools. Lily would be most delighted to make you very famous too. Now that we will finally move to Paris, where we can be truly free.
Yes, all right.
When we're in Paris, then we can truly be free, truly free.
But there's just one rule. Lily never overstays. Lily must always leave by twilight. And let my husband come back to me.
What a treat for us to get to witness that level of incredible artistry this close and personal, right? You're such a beautiful actress, as is Sylvia. It's just such a wonderful thing to be able to have right in front of us. Now that we have more of a taste of the musical score and soundscape, Tobias, can you talk to us a little bit about the themes of the opera and how your score paints those themes?
Well, it's hard to talk about musical themes, but I think I've repeated enough of them there that you could sort of hear some of them. But structurally and compositionally, this opera takes its cue from the prefix trans and transition. It's actually always transitioning, and transition is also a musical term. So there's something very deeply connected with the experience of Lili and the music. And there are a lot of words. There are actually nearly 1,000 words with the prefix trans, which you may not realize. So I will now read all of them to you. perhaps just a few. Transition, transposition, transformation, translucent, transcribe, transfigure, transfix, transfuse, transgress, translation, transliteration, transmute, and transcendental. So the piece, I realized as I was writing it and as I got to the end, it does have a transcendental qualities to it that I think perhaps speak to the singers and then are conveyed to the audience. So it's that doesn't really answer your question, but
No, it does. That was everything I wanted to know, Tobias.
more.
And more. And speaking of the connection to the piece, Lucia, first of all, brava on those first two scenes. We learned a lot about Lili's journey, especially in that last excerpt, in discovering herself, and we go through that with her in the opera. What has this process been like to embody this character, and have you discovered similarities and differences with your own personal journey?
Yeah, I loved learning about Lili's journey because a lot of the things that had already happened in Lili's story happened to me and were very much parallel, very much about a public coming out, because I was already singing when I came out, and Lili was already a famous painter, when she came out, and how you have to do everything in front of everybody. Yeah, some people don't know, and that's fine. But then there's also differences, like as soon as I knew what gender was, I knew that there was something different, whereas Lili learned later on in life. But in the last scene that you just heard, in scene 4, has huge parallels to my life, because my wife and I got together over 20 years ago, and so we went through that transition together. She is my Gerda, really, and the sort of negotiation of like, okay, well, I understand that you have to do this, but do you have to do this much, But when we first got together 20 years ago, I haven't told this story publicly, so here you go. But I had a belly button ring, and it was like one sort of like rebellion of femininity that I was doing. And one of my roommates said, "Oh, well, Lucia wears dresses sometimes," and so outed me to my roommate outed my wife Ariana, or outed me to my wife Ariana. And so she said, "Hey, what is it about this belly button ring?" And in that moment, I actually took out the ring and threw it across the room. And I was like, I don't need it. She's like, "Well, what if we get together, and someday you want to be a woman?" So we had that conversation 20 years ago, and I was like, I don't think I need that, but life does things, and we're still together, and we're still very happy, and we got together 20 years ago and wanted to be opera singers together. So, being artists together, living this life of best friends, running off to join the circus, essentially, this piece is so special to me in that way, really. But this really hits at me every single time, the negotiations.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think it's such a special thing to be able to share so vulnerably and to give of yourself so much in a role that is so close and personal to you, and to be able to share that with us as well. That's very meaningful. So thank you. And what a gift to be able to have a partner that is as strong as, I would argue, as Gerda and Lili in the beginning of this opera, in the beginning of their story, and throughout their story for that matter. And now I will let Aryeh introduce the next two excerpts that have to do with a different kind of love that comes into the story.
So the next two excerpts will be played contiguously. As you heard in this scene, Gerda and Lili moved to Paris, and Paris is a much freer in the 1920s than Copenhagen. And they attend a ball at the Paris mansion of a Danish countess. Lili meets and dances with Claude LeJeune, a perfumer, to whom she will later become engaged. Claude immediately falls in love with her and tells her about enfleurage. And enfleurage is a technique that extracts fragrance from flowers to make perfume. In the next scene, after that, contiguous, Lili and Claude are completing their walk in the Tuileries Gardens in Paris and taking leave of one another.
That would be criminal. Why would you do that? What is that? Enfleurage is a transformation used everywhere, but most are unaware. Their scent, which lives on in perfume. They live on as perfume. I'm sorry, Claude, this lovely afternoon is over, and I'm so glad you did not steal all the garden lilies to make my perfume. Ina's brother and sister are coming. I do not wish to be late, and I want to look my best to greet them. You could not look more beautiful, Lili.
la vie. So with this introduction of Claude, this new significant character in Lily's life, I'm wondering if we can do a little deep dive into who he is to Lili, how his relationship with Lili compares to Gerda's relationship, and what does he really mean for Lili? Lucia, I'm very interested on your take in this, specifically with your own character work.
Sure. I mean, this is something that I have the luxury of already doing a production of this. So I have a little bit more insight than I did before I started studying the score. But one of the interesting things is, and one of the unfortunate things for Claude, because he's such a nice person and he loves Lili so much, I think that Lili doesn't give him quite the same type of love back. In a certain way, Lili is benefiting from him and his soul and his kindness and his person to sort of give her more gender confirmation for herself, more so than wanting to be in a relationship with him. And this is one of the sort of tragedies of the opera, is that Gerda's been there the whole time, and Lili keeps going in search of things that will satisfy what she sees as the ideal woman, what womanhood is to her. And so, you know, in the opera, she says, oh, I have to have a husband. Oh, I have to have children. A woman should have a husband. And not stopping to think of, does she really actually want that? Does she want to hold the baby in her arms? Or does she think that having a baby will make her mother accept her as a woman? So it's kind of unfortunate because he's right there, he's so nice, and she's right there, and she's so nice. And Lili just keeps going farther and farther to go with another mythology, flying too close to the sun, basically, and not stopping to see what she has right there, with two different people who really genuinely love her.
Yeah, it really puts it into the historical context in which we're experiencing the story and what womanhood, to your point, what womanhood looked like at the time and what was acceptable at the time as well, to think that there is only one way in which you can embrace true womanhood, and kind of, to Aryeh's point of Eurydice not looking back, that was Lili's a full steam ahead sort of mentality of this is what this means and this is how I want to achieve this for myself. And within that historical context too, and speaking of other characters that play a pivotal role for her journey into womanhood, we meet the character Professor Varnacross, who was a real physician. And Aryeh, I would love to have you chat a little bit about him and his role in Lili's life and her transformation.
Professor Varnacross was the head of the women's clinic in Dresden, and this takes place in the 20s, and he agreed to operate on Lili. There were multiple operations, but in a sense, he wanted to help her, or she believed he wanted to help her, but he was also doing a lot of experimental surgeries for that time, and including the surgery that eventually killed her. Which was a uterus transplant. And you have to remember, in the 20s, we didn't have penicillin, which didn't come until 1941 into use, and we didn't have azathioprine for rejection of organs, which didn't happen until the 60s. So in a way, he's a hero to her, but then I think she realizes, not so much in the opera, but in the end of her life, in her memoirs, that he sort of abandoned her. We were a little worried because he was a real person, and portraying him as someone that did something to Lili that actually wasn't good. But we found out, and there's family, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, but he actually did join the Nazi Party and did a lot of experiments on women and forced sterilization, so we didn't feel bad that we made him a bad character.
a apt choice for a villain there.
Yeah.
And I will say also a fun fact for those of you that don't know, Aryeh is also a physician himself, so he brings that expertise to his writing and to this piece historically. Shall we introduce the next excerpt?
Yes, so the next excerpt, so as we've said, Lili was actually accepted very much socially, but she still felt uncomfortable in her body and sought treatment from many doctors who treated her poorly, including radiologists, I'm sorry to say. But she meets and is encouraged by Professor Varnacross, like we said, who tells her he can help her. So she's glad about that, but she also sings about what she will do if he can't really help her or if the treatments don't work.
I do not know if what he says can really be achieved. If it cannot, I will take my life, take my life. My own
And we will now give a little sneak peek at some of the design renderings for this American premiere of the production at Santa Fe Opera. And I'm making this on behalf of director Jim Robinson and his whole design team. That includes Alan Moyer for scenic design, Marco Piemontese for costumes, Marcus Doshi, the lighting designer, and Greg Amatoff for projection and video design. I will mention, if you were with us in Santa Fe last summer, Jim directed the La Boheme production, and Alan Moyer was the set designer for that. So if you enjoyed that set, that you've got another dynamic duo here for that. There are 15 scenes in this opera, many different locations covered, including Copenhagen, Paris, Dresden. And the team was really aesthetically drawn to and inspired by Scandinavian painters of the 20s and 30s to create this world, both in the scenic and costume elements. And in order to move quickly between those locations, Alan's scenic design is a unit set mostly, with some slip stages, meaning that there's, maybe some little wagons that come in and out. It's very much based in realism, not quite minimalist, but rather essentialist, as Jim referenced, and with the use of projections throughout to help support the scenic transitions and to build the setting tone for each scenes. The costume design that Marco created really utilizes color to symbolize and emphasize the connection to the Orpheus and Eurydice story that we were chatting about earlier. In the opening scene, Anna, their famous actress friend, is playing Orpheus and is in all black, and the woman playing Eurydice is in all white. Gerda starts in a lighter color and Einar starts in a dark color. And then throughout the 15 scenes, Gerda actually has the same dress, just getting darker. And as Lili comes into being, she goes from darker clothing into lighter clothing. And so you can see that throughout their journey together. Really beautiful renderings, right? Such a talented design team that we have here. And that's the Paris scene. For the ballroom scene, this is the one scene that they really wanted to use more color saturation than the other scenes, but more or less it ends up being muted throughout, just to kind of help create that palette from the paintings that they were inspired by. But this one, we get a little bit of a peacock feather flavor and a little bit more saturation of Lili's dress color as well. And then as we start Act 2, this is when we are in a dream sequence where Lili is under anesthesia and she's dreaming about the Orpheus opera. So there's going to be projection and video utilized for that within the scenic design there. And the painting of sort of getting us into the sort of wide aesthetic that we will get into later on at the end of the scenes here. Continuing with the color palette and color story that we have. And it should also be mentioned that Gerda did end up remarrying, and for the wedding dress look here, even that is continuing with the darker color mode, to where in the final scene, once we get into the hospital bed, the final look here is Lili in her all white representing Eurydice, and Gerda in all black like Orpheus. So very, very powerful, striking color stories here within the design. And so to see more of that, you'll maybe have to come join us in Santa Fe this summer. And before we have our final excerpt, Tobias, is there anything that you want to leave us with? Any last thoughts, anything you want the audience to take with them this evening?
Well, I think I have many thoughts, but mostly what this opera does extra musically is promote understanding. And I came away from the experience of the premiere thinking about Gandhi's remark that all men are brothers, but thinking actually instead of brothers that we are all siblings, and that is the underlying or overarching message of this opera.
And I would argue that we need understanding and siblingship now more than ever.
Yes.
So what a pertinent time to have this piece. Aryeh, would you like to introduce the last excerpt?
Yeah, so just before the last excerpt, I just wanted to give a little bit more history of the story. After her first surgeries, Lili and Gerda go to the Danish royal court to have Lili's gender affirmed and their marriage annulled. And King Christian actually arrives at the court to meet Lili in person, and he grants her request affirming her gender and annuls her marriage to Gerda, because at that time 2 women couldn't be married. Trying to overcome the loss of their deep relationship, both Lili and Gerda find love in different quarters, or temporary love. When Claude LeJeune asks Lili to marry him, Lili delays until she can have yet another surgery to become a mother, and that goes into the whole theme of what her concept of being a woman was then, which Professor Werner Cross says he can make possible. So in Dresden, Lili undergoes the surgery, which is a uterus transplant. She lays dying from the complications of her surgery. Claude brings her lilies and a new perfume he created for her. Lili writes and thanks the absent Gerda for the flowers she sends every single day from Rome, where she is now living. From 2 distant cities, Lili and Gerda's voices sing together in a last duet, declaring their love for each other.
And I have made is Gerda.
Here is Lili.
Your letters come each day from your loving heart in Rome. How happy they make me.
If only you would let me visit.
They speak to me softly in your voice.
Suffering, I know you say.
I promise I'll be better soon. Time heals.
I know it does, but I want to
You know, Gerda Claude arrived today. Don't be jealous. You know I must have a husband. I am so tired, but I am not afraid. I would die happily now. I am a woman.
Here now, my place is with you. Give me your hand.
Then Gerda, come with me. Hold on to the hand of the one who loves you. Who is
Many thanks to the Works in Process team here at the Guggenheim for having us, and many thanks to all of you for joining us this evening and letting us share with you. Lili Elbe opens next summer at the Santa Fe Opera on August 1st. You can get your tickets now and find out more information and learn about the rest of the summer season at santafeopera.org or on the Santa Fe Opera social media channels. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Get home safely.